AJ's a special guy, and he is, as far as I'm concerned, probably one of the best real estate agents I've worked with out of all my clients. But AJ's, you're very, very welcome. AJ is also on a mission to make a whole bunch of money in 2019, which is pretty cool. AJ started his own group.
I like those kind of missions.
That's good. And mostly because I got 4 kids, but yeah.
Yeah, right. But he's also been, you've been a real estate agent for almost, 20 years now, right?
No, 15 this year.
15, okay.
Yeah.
So 15 years. You've done very well in your career. You went ahead and bought the, not just a franchise, but the entire region of Exit Realty. So you basically own, the brokerages across Eastern Ontario.
Yeah. So the master franchise rights. So I sell the franchises and then help the brokers manage them. And well, they manage them themselves, but I kind of coach, train, teach, have some fun, do a little bit of real estate on the side. So yeah, it's great. It's good. It's a good time.
Nice.
Yeah. So and so what's really interesting, AJ, is that you understand both sides of this. You understand the marketing side of it because you've done a ton of marketing for yourself. Yeah. You've done a ton of marketing for other agents that are below you, people that you've recruited. But you also see the struggles that new agents have, that experienced agents have, broker owners have. You also see not just brokerages, new brokerages that are building in your region, but across North America. You're in the US, you're in Canada, all over the place. So you've got a really interesting outlook on everything.
I never thought of it that way. It's good.
No, you really do, because when you and I talk, it's insane. So,
well, and AJ, I guess, what is do you have a team currently that you're working with? I know you have all the agents underneath you locally.
Yeah. So what happens is I have their brokerages that do their own thing. And then I'm out selling the franchises and stuff. But I also have, I do some real estate. When I say on the side, generally, I started back, 3-4 months ago, Shane? Because on average, I was doing between 50 and 75 deals a year with an assistant. I never had a team. And now probably 30 transactions I'll probably do in the next few months or so. So what's interesting about what Shane does is my sound's coming in okay, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So what's interesting about when Shane and I first started talking about this is is the online leads. And the first thing that I really understood is that there's 2 components, and you might cut me off if I'm rambling here, but there's really 2 components to the whole kind of adventure in generating leads, right? It's you generate the lead, which is seemingly simple when you're talking just a random lead, right? So it can be from a door knock, a cold call, Facebook, whatever technology that you guys use. And then you once you generate that lead, then what happens is a person tends to get greedy because that lead becomes now, as you guys mentioned, a crappy lead. But we realtors forget that that lead is a human being, right? Unless it's a robot or a bot or whatever you guys call it.
No, but I love that. Right? The lead is a human being. So many people miss that.
So it's a human being. There's either an email or assuming it's the right email and phone number. But what happens is once you start getting those leads, then all of a sudden it's almost like the realtor gets greedy because they want it to be handed to them on a silver platter, then a gold platter, then maybe a platinum platter, then maybe a Bitcoin platter. So it just kind of goes through this crescendo of oh my goodness, Shane, you're not producing me great leads. Well, okay, you got the lead. You called the lead, you set up a call for me, you got every single piece of information, but because they're not buying in the next 2 weeks, it becomes a crappy lead. But 3 months ago, that random lead was an awesome lead, right? So that's the first component, is generating. And then the second component that you guys are doing well is you're doing, whatever form of follow-up that you've done, and I've experienced Shane do. The problem is that the fortune's always in the follow-up, and realtors have a tendency to forget about the fortune, right? So,
well, what's that statistic? What is it? 87% of clients would work with a realtor if they could remember who they worked with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a very National Association of Realtors put that out a few years ago. So what's curious about what you guys do is it's so like it's an art, right, to generate good leads. And my definition of good lead is that their phone number is real or their email is real.
Right.
Because if they don't close on the first week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 6 months or a year or 2 years, that's still fueling my database. And that database, let's say, Shane, you gave me, I don't know, 2,000 emails over, let's say, a period of 12 months. And I actually followed up and put them on a drip campaign. And my theory is always by the 9th time, that's when I give them a kind, I realize that you're not interested right now in my services. Hopefully down the road you will. I will follow up in the future. So unless they tell me to, go to hell or suck rocks or something, right?
Right.
They're put in there. So if you're giving me 2,000 emails or 2,000 phone numbers, the math on that, okay, just this, if you half-ass it and do a crappy job, the math on 2,000, the return over 24 months is 200 transactions. And that's if you just contact them every quarter with a crappy email or phone call.
So let's just expand on this. This isn't just some random number that you picked out. This is from real data.
Yeah. So what happens if you're contacting a past client, a present client, a future client, a cold lead or whatever? And when I say a cold lead, I mean one that you haven't done a transaction with, but you have some form of communication back and forth, right? That becomes now, call it a quasi client or an almost client. So what happens is if you talk to them between 0 and 4 times over a period of 12 months, you're going to get a 10% return guaranteed, lock solid, real over the next 12 months from the time you've contacted them 0 to 4 times. 5 times to 8 times, it's a 20% return. 9 times or more, you're at a 30% return. So if you give me 2,000 leads, and I don't care where they come from, okay, and they could be from all over North America, Canada, the US, you give me 2,000 leads. Once I've communicated and had some kind of transaction back and forth, even if they didn't buy a lick of real estate, that's 600 future deals within the next 24 months. The problem is that one person or one human being can't follow up and show that many houses and list that many houses. So, the argument is, well, I can't humanly possibly do that, but that's where teams are and referrals and all this kind of stuff. So what you guys are doing, what I'm trying to, whenever we talk, is that it's not that the realtors are stupid or lazy. It's just that they just don't understand that every time I get that lead, it's a human breathing person that sometime in the future may do business with you. But even more importantly, that person knows 250 people that may refer you. So you give me 1,000 leads. Now I got 250,000 potential prospects that may do business with me. And if I'm doing a 1,000th of 1%, I'm still doing 225 deals over 24 months. So that's the magic in what you guys are doing. And that's, I just don't understand why realtors don't get that.
So that's interesting because you teach this stuff, right? Like this is, you teach, you train. I know you do events all the time. You talk to realtors about how important it is in order to get to the level that the majority of realtors want to get. You talk to them about how important it is to build your database what that number looks like over time, right? And so for me, basically, there's been 2 things that I've always thought like it was kind of broken. One of them is that, first of all, realtors treat being in real estate as a job. Yeah. Like they treat it as, okay, this is a job here. I just need to do this and try to get to $100,000 a year, and then I'm done. I'm happy, right?
Well, yeah, I would almost say a lot of them treat it like a hobby.
Yeah, well, I
more like a job as opposed to a business, right?
My first year was, hey, honey, hey, baby, we're gonna make 100 G's, and that's it. It's dreams over. And then I spent 100 G's. So I was making less money than when I had a job, right? And then until you realize what you need to where you should spend your money. Like you guys are talking 26-cent leads and $3 leads. Like to me, that's insanely ridiculously low. I used to have billboards at $2,500 a month that all it did was make me look cool when I drove by it, right? And that was
you still have your billboards. I tried by and it's like
I have one.
Hey,
one
there's a
one bench sign in my old hood that I'm emotionally attached to. Don't judge.
That will
don't
be there
judge
forever,
me.
right?
Yeah, pretty much. But that's the thing is that when we talked about this, Shane, too, is that what happens is when you guys are generating these leads, and then it's not that the realtors are lazy or dumb. It's just that they just don't quite understand that. Okay, you gave me 100 leads. Beautiful. I converted 3. Okay, now I got 97 human beings that know 250 people each, right? Do the math. Let's say 100 times 250. That's what, 25,000 people out there in the virtual universe that could potentially do business with me, right? So there's that second component that what do I do? What do I do with the other people that, unless they tell me to, like I said, suck rocks, what do I do with that group? And that group that's what we do is we put it into our database and it's a slow drip. And if I can contact them, 0 to 4 is 10%, 5 to 8 is 20% return, 9 plus 30% return. And those are future, my database is actually my business. It shouldn't be thought of as a lead generator. It's my business that's a breathing, living, sellable thing. The lead generation system, I should have 1 or 2 lead generation systems. So let's say one is the online leads, and the other one is, I don't know, door knocking or referrals, right? So now I got that one system that's feeding that database, and then I got my clients that, refer me all day long, and then I got that, hey, AJ, you sent me like 4,000 emails. I'd like to buy that $1 million home. Do you think you could help me? It becomes it's gravy on top of, and now you got a measurable business that makes sense. And what you guys do is so measurable and so analytical. A guy like me kind of, but get the person, talk to them, follow up, email, funnel, bot, robot, Z-bot, however that works. And then it comes out of the other end, and all I have to do is say, hey, how you doing? When do you folks plan on moving? How long have you lived there? Where did you move from? If you could move, where would you move to? And when would that be? And just keep doing that until they say yes or no, or here's my friend that wants to do it. I don't yet, right? So anyways, that's kind of how I see the whole thing. So when we did that fun one there, 43 leads I got.
So let's talk about that campaign. This is the campaign that I talk about. So for anybody that's on the live, that's in my student group, I actually posted AJ's campaign, which was an estate sale, listing estate sale that we did.
That was like my first listing in 3 years.
Your first listing in 3 years.
Yeah.
And we were generating leads every 11 minutes, I believe, or every 12 minutes. We were generating a lead. Great campaign. You got, in fact, so you got 43 leads into the database.
Yeah.
I never sent you the other 50 leads that I got because it was too much.
What the hell? Why didn't you do that?
They were all from the market. I know. I couldn't deal with.
I taught your wife real estate. What kind of friend are you?
Yeah. So I just wasn't. I couldn't handle the amount of leads that were coming in for that campaign. So, anyways, are you going to send me the other 50 or what? They're still good. No, they're all there. I'll explain to you offline what happened with that. But anyways, we generated 43 leads in 48 hours. I think we spent $230 on your campaign.
Yeah.
Which was a great campaign. Very, very, the listing was perfect for what we wanted to do. And I tell a lot of people, like when you're doing individual listings, you're looking for specific things. Your listing was sort of at the top of what I would want to use to generate a lot of leads, which was an estate sale, and it was below market value. So it was about $40,000 below market value, a 3-bedroom home and an estate sale. So
I think it's something people miss. Like, if your agent has a short sale, a lot of agents, and I don't know if you've seen this, AJ, but I know a lot of agents here, like if they have a short sale, like they complain about it. Like they can't stand that short sale. Like I had one short sale.
Yeah, no, that's great.
In the past 6 years. And I did, I think 4 deals off of that one short sale because it was priced so low. And because it was technically active for 6 months, I had so many leads just coming to me off of that short sale. That I was able to close, like I said, another 4 deals off of that one. So I think that's huge.
Well, the crazy thing is that what happens, we get, no pun intended, but short-sighted when it comes to those, when leads like that come in, we think, well, oh, they're not interested in my property. And then they're set aside, right? But it's just a simple, like the ones that you sent, Shane, okay? I'm still working with 9 buyers from that, closed 3 deals, 2 listings, right? And when I told Shane that...
How many was that?
But let's repeat those numbers because this is insane. Insane. You want to hear results? Look, this is what happens when you work with a good real estate agent. 43 leads, and then how many?
So I got 9 pre-qualified buyers right now, okay? Mm-hmm. And I got them buying townhomes for investments because we have a thing where you can get top rent. So anyways, 3 sales, 2 listings, right? So the
43 leads, guys. 43 leads. Your leads are not crappy leads. Let me repeat that. Your leads are not crappy leads. Sorry, AJ.
No, it's good. So when no, they're not. This the stupid thing is that sometimes it's good not to know what you don't know, right? So I talked to Shane. It was the last week of the week. He goes, and I told him the results, and the other people that are there, except for two people that just weren't interested. They're in my database because I got my A and my B. My A's are my 177 referral base, and the rest just go on a drip campaign, right? And then I talk to them every quarter or call them or text them, right? So what happens is that those other people are still in the system, but the 9 pre-qualified one, this is the one that's crazy, is that on the weekend, and I'm selling houses because my son's in a prep school and my daughter does horseback riding, and my wife told me that you got to start paying for this shit. Right. So, and and you know my wife, Shane. So I was like, okay, I'll get back to sales. So what happens is that this,
I love it.
This weekend, I met with a guy that can rent townhomes to the city, Ottawa, where we are, and I can get top rents. I can get $1,700 where they're supposed to be getting $1,350. So I called all 9, picked up 4, and they're all going this weekend to pick up a $250,000 townhome condo. I'll probably close 2, and the other ones will come later. So if I close 1, it's good. But that's from something from 3 months ago, 4 months ago?
About 3.5 months ago, we ran that campaign.
And those are all the online leads I've ever received probably in my life, other than Realtor.ca, Realtor.com, like the normal listing online leads. But an actual plan, I don't know, do we do anything else, Shane? I don't think so, eh?
No, everything else we've done. So this was the only campaign we ran for you. Everything else was for agents that worked for you.
So I got an offer on 1 listing. The other one's still up. So that's 4 plus 2, 6. And we just did the 48 hours, right? So now I'm getting excited. I'm like, okay, well, I can make some decent cash at this. And when I look back, I was doing parties, doing the pop buys, Brian Buffini, Craig Proctor.
Yeah, I thought I recognized some Brian Buffini in there.
So doing all that stuff, and it's awesome systems. But I'm just thinking in my head, well, I do that anyways, and I'm doing the parties and stuff anyways, and I'm selling franchise and doing all that. But maybe we should turn it on a little bit and give me some more leads so that I can fill that funnel and get 1,000, 2,000 clients over the next, call it 18 months. So then I'm building up this massive database, because the one who has the biggest database wins. Right? Or the one who has the most alive and active database wins. Right?
Well, and I think you're talking about something that I think a lot of marketers miss, right? We're so focused on getting you leads right now, stuff that can start working right now. We want to get agents results, but you're talking about the database and like growing that database. And I think that's something, again, a ton of marketers are missing, right? They're not focused on growing that database and communicating with it effectively. And you're using Brian Buffini methods, which are like top of the line. So you're seeing results.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, you guys, the amount of stuff that comes into your, and I don't know if this is legal or not. I don't know how I could barely get onto this Facebook deal.
The live.
Yes, the live. And
we appreciate your effort, AJ.
Yeah,
Thank you.
The Facebook shindig, the chat face shindig, as they call it here in Ottawa. So if you guys are generating all these leads, I'm just curious. I have a question for you. You must have what 10, 15. Now, yes, the leads are for your clients, but 10, 20, 30, 50,000 emails. And now if I was a realtor and I had 10, 15, 20,000 emails, or 1,000, and I went to you guys and I said, okay, so I got like 2,000 emails that I've got over the last 90 days. What do I do with it? How can I recycle that? And how can I use it to continue that funnel, right? So these are things to the amateur, new school, old school, being introduced to new school. I embrace that and see that at the front end, I can make cash. And don't forget, if there's realtors that you talk to, when you're in action, right? It's simple physics. It's simple physics. When you're in action, you're going to get an equal reaction. So if Shane gives me 10 leads today, and tomorrow I'm working them, or I'm texting them tonight, and then I'm sending an email, then I'm phoning tomorrow. If I get 10, I'm in action, and the universe is going to naturally give me listings, buyers, and opportunities. Naturally. So worst case scenario, you give me 100 leads a week of crappy leads, but I'm actually working them, right? Guess what happens? Is I'm going to start picking up listings, I'm going to pick up buyers, and then I'm going to get into a habit where I'm actually going to start following up, and those crappy leads all of a sudden are going to start making me money and be like, holy shit, those are actually freaking good leads. What am I thinking? Right? So it just bogs my mind, but it's quite interesting. Anyways, I'm rambling there.
No,
this is why I love working with you, because you understand this. It's like,
well, and like you said, like mixing that old school method with the new school method of generating leads, right? Like a lot of these new school methods of generating leads like have left out the part about following up with them, working your database, growing that. I've heard, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Lance Loken out of Texas.
Yeah, I've heard,
Yeah, Lance, he calls it his data bank.
Oh, yeah, that's good, yeah.
Yeah,
that's really
because
good. That's really good. Data
bank. They work their database so hard that they actually see like 75 to 80% show up rates with their database appointments. With their database they either know them or it's somebody that they have added to their database and communicated with them effectively. Like it's so huge.
Well, if you actually start, tell your agents, if they actually start, and you can keep this one, Shane, if you start cash calling your leads, then you can build a great data bank.
Yeah. Exactly.
Put that one in your pipe right there. But at the end of the day, you're right. Like what you guys are doing, it really does work. And the thing is that I don't know what the intimidation or what the problem is, but I think at the end of the day, if they put all their leads in one place, which you guys do, they have a script that they can follow, which you guys do, and then they have a system to follow up, step by step, and it goes through a funnel and can be recycled, which you guys do. You only have to actually work. I'm talking the realtor. The realtor only has to actually work an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. The rest is play.
Yeah.
2 hours a day. The rest is play. You're doing showings. You're doing listing appointments. You're making money. You're only working 2 hours a day, and that work is following up and doing the prospecting. It's a joke, but anyways, I digress.
So AJ, I think what we'll do, AJ, is we'll bring you back on in 3 months from now to hear the actual transactions that have all come through from 43
perfect. That'd be
leads.
awesome. That'd be good.
And I think I have a question though, and I think maybe some other viewers are having the same question: is how do we find agents like you, AJ?
Well, it's really about agents. Well, and it's a good question.
Because
it's
you're
really,
a recruiter, so you would know how to find agents that are going to produce.
And nobody call AJ, by the way.
Yeah, his name is AJ Black and Mild.
Face chat, Insta guy. But so very, very simple. And then I'll let you guys get back to your other stuff. Is for those that really don't quite understand the brain of the realtor, because it is think about it. Cost you $2,000 and you can make $1 million a year. Like buy a Starbucks. Well, you can't buy a Starbucks, but buy a McDonald's. It's I don't know how many millions of dollars, and you're going to make $250,000 to $400,000 a year. It's crazy. Yeah. So what happens is read the book, The Kaizen Way. I don't remember the author. It's called The Kaizen Way. Okay, and what it teaches in this book.
How do you spell that?
Kaizen. Okay. So what happens in this book is it talks about taking one little bit at a time. So your realtor, okay, I'm giving you these leads. Mm-hmm. All I want you to do is email them all once. Next day, take what you got, give one a call. Then the next day, give two a call. So it's step by step. And the analogy is that if I have a messy desk, in the old days, in the caveman times, the saber-toothed tiger would jump out, my body would break down, and I would just flee. Well, we don't have saber-toothed tigers today. What we have is massive amounts of online leads, messy desks, overwhelming, I got to be $1 billion producer. And that's the saber-toothed tiger that makes us break down and flee, and that's what happens to the realtor. So if I want to clean my desk, today all I got to do is take one paper clip. Tomorrow I'm going to take 2 pieces of paper. So the same thing with the leads. If they're saying, Shane, I'm going to pay you $1,000 to give me 100 leads a week, you're actually better off saying, well, why don't you give me $500 and I'll give you 10 a week, right? And then I'm going to coach you through that process, right? And then I'm going to take the other 500 and show you how to build a database in the back end. I'm not trying to teach you how to run your business, but I'm just saying that you send them all the leads and then they panic and they're like, what the hell do I do with all this? Right? One at a time. Take it easy, take it slow. And if they get too many, then just send them to me and I'll take care of them. That's all.
And that's really, so let me just add, that's really interesting that you say that, because look at the results you've gotten with just 43 leads.
I'd rather pay you $2,000 for 43 leads and give me a week to just work them, and then another week maybe to just set it up. And then, okay, now I got these ones set up. Okay, give me another. I don't know if that's how online stuff works, but you know what I'm saying? You give me 500, I'm going to drop them under the car seat. You give me 50, I can actually work them, right?
But the problem with the marketer, and this is what's really interesting, is how do I get the cheapest possible lead, and how do I feed as many leads as possible to the agents? So and what ends up happening is you overwhelm them.
Yeah. So I'll leave that one up to you guys. But we should do another experiment, Shane. I got a couple cool properties coming up. So
sounds good, AJ. Well, listen, thank you so much, AJ, for taking the time, popping on, and really nice to have you. We'll talk to you soon. So I know you're coming to Toronto soon.
Shane, I'm going to have to come to the next Toronto party with you.
Absolutely.
It's good. Yeah, it's good times. Shane's a wild man. All right, talk to you guys later.
Take it easy. Thanks,
Take care.